In 7 days, LEGO Fortnite Odyssey is getting a brand new update, including the recycler, wall mount changes, and so much more. And in today's video, I got you guys covered with everything that you need to do to prepare for this update. And I'm going to talk about the recycler in a little bit, since I'm sure that's what a majority of the people are the most excited for. But before I do, we got to cover the wall mount. Oh my, drone just went flying. Wait, get a replay on that. That was insane. Anyway, guys, as I was saying, the recycler is going to be an amazing item, don't get me wrong, but what I'm the most excited for is going to be the wall mounts. And as you can see here, this is never before seen on video. I've been grinding this on my live streams as well as off camera. But getting straight into what you need to do to prepare for the update, I would definitely suggest throwing some wall mounts up next to your chest, because if you didn't hear, starting on March 25th, you'll be able to put non-holdable items on the wall mount like resources and charms. And in this update blog, they do say that you can use these as labels for chests you put below them. I'm not putting chests below, I'm putting them right next to it, but same thing applies. This is basically my massive storage unit, which I'm going to use for every single resource that currently exists in the game. And if I open my codex up and go over to the resources category, you can see that there's 84 different items here. Yes, I counted. On top of that, there's a few random ones in different tabs, like these rune tomes here. We obviously have all of our different charms and equipment, plus the weapons and tools that we have. But across this entire village, because yes, I also have an entire level 10 village here. If I go up to a crafting bench here, you can see I have 111 chests connected to this village, which is just absolutely absurd. Across that, I'll be able to craft anything I could ever want to, as well as, again, just store every single item. There's going to be a home for everything. I'm never going to have to worry about item overflow. I'm going to have plenty of chests to go around here. And again, the wall mount changes will finally make it so that we're able to put things like woods, different resources, maybe some different mob loot like cursed bones here. The options are essentially endless. You'll be able to put anything you want into these wall plates. And for that reason, this is the first thing that we had to highlight in the video, because like I said, this is the thing that I'm the most excited for. Obviously, I'm preparing. We have 7 days until the update comes out, and when it comes out, stay tuned to the channel, because this thing is going to come together quite nicely. You'll see me put a different resource on every single wall mount, and my goodness, am I excited for this. I've been grinding this project, and don't get me wrong, there's still a lot of work to do, considering that all of my villagers are floating and there's random holes in the floor. But this is an update video, and I want to focus on that. Let's not talk about how ugly this village is. Anyway, guys, we got a lot more to cover in this new update that's coming in 7 days, like I've already said a billion times in this video. But drop a like if you're excited for it, guys. Anytime they drop new content in the game, obviously it's very welcome by the community, and this is no exception. The community should be excited for this, not only for the wall mount changes, but for what I'm going to talk about next as well. And to talk about it, we got to take our launchpad highway back over to our OG base, where I have my original storage room as well. Trust me, it's here. It just has to render in. It'll render in. Trust me, it will. I promise you, it's actually here. And there it is. There you go. See, I wasn't lying to you. Anyway, the reason we're here is to talk about the next big change in the update, which of course is what I highlighted off the bat in today's video, which is going to be the new recycler. This is going to live on the same exact page as the rest of the stations that we currently have in the game. I don't imagine it'll be too expensive to craft, but it will have a very nice functionality to it. And if you didn't know, basically this station is going to recycle crafted items to gain a portion of the used materials back. They say that this means you can break down old charms and weapons into resources that you can reuse. Unlock the recycler recipe by building or using a stonebreaker starting March 25th. I'm sure by this point, most of you probably have a stonebreaker. If you don't, that's relatively cheap to make. I believe it costs, 20 planks and 35 granite, so not super hard. Once you do that, you'll be able to unlock the recycler as well. And the reason we're here in this storage room is because the function of the recycler is, of course, to recycle things. And if I go ahead and open some of these chests that I have on the wall, you can see exactly where I'm going with this. I have so many random tools that I just have no use for. And this recycler is very nice, because like I just read, you can break down charms and weapons for the resources that were required to make them in the first place. To give you a great example of this, let's go over to this chest here. And you can see that we got a whole lot, but what I'm really looking at is this gem flint knock. The reason I'm talking about this one specifically is because look, it's basically broken. And you know, as most LEGO Fortnite players understand by now, when an item gets this down bad in durability, it's basically fully cooked. Like there's no use for it. So yeah, finally we will have a real use for things like this. Of course, when we go ahead and torch this flint knock, like they said in the update notes, they will go ahead and give us a portion of those resources back. And going to look at what you need to make this gem flint knock, it ain't too cheap. As you can see, you need some gem type and you need 3 of them. On top of that, you're going to need any bar, which is going to be gold, copper, or iron. And not only that, drawstring is just whatever, but you're also going to need blast powder. So between everything that you need to make this gem flint knock, assuming you just get a few of those items, it'll still definitely be worth your time to do that. And I honestly do love the choice here by LEGO Fortnite to go ahead and give us back some of the original resources that were put into crafting it instead of just random resources. I could have definitely seen them go the route the same way that they kind of did with the compost here, where you go ahead and burn some things and then they give you some resources that maybe aren't the best. They're going to go ahead and give us some of the exact same things we use to craft the item in the first place. And I'm sure some of you have already heard about what's coming in this update, but if you haven't, those are the two main things. It's going to be the wall mount changes that I talked about a little bit already. And then of course, also the new utility station in the recycler. There are a few other changes that I'll go ahead and run through later in this video, but I want to show you guys how I'm preparing on both fronts, because I already talked a bit about the wall mounts, but there is more to what I'm doing. Because again, coming down here one more time, I have all these chests that just have random things. Like I have a full chest of sapphire tools that I'll probably never end up using. And of course, I have the same exact thing for ruby, amber, and emeralds. But for those of you who really want to get ahead when the update drops, my best suggestion and what I'm personally going to be trying is right over there with the storm. I'll take you guys over there in a second, but first I want to show you a little world update, because what I went ahead and did was build another launchpad highway out this way. It's towards the storm, and as you can see, where it takes us is actually an incredible spot of land that's basically completely flat. I'm going to end up doing a crazy build project here that I've had in mind for a while. Stay tuned to the channel. You don't want to miss that, but hang on. There's a bear there. I know we're preparing for the update, but trust me, I need as many bear pelts as possible because I definitely die from time to time, and you can never have too many of these right here. But we got our bear pelt. Not a serious note, let me go ahead and show you exactly where we're going. And some of you might already know, but essentially my #1 recommendation on what to do before the recycler comes out, if you want to maximize everything, is going to be entering these storm caves. And of course, the reason for this is pretty obvious if you've played the storm caves before. But we'll just go ahead and get through this by breaking these shards. But we already completed the first level, and as we get back to the teleporter, we are going to have this gold chest here. And when you open these, they're going to have quite a bit of things. And this time around, we unfortunately didn't get a weapon or tool, but a lot of times you will. Let me just go through another round and we'll see if we have better luck. A fair warning though, if you are coming down here, make sure you are properly equipped. Although this is a great way to grind out some stuff before the update, don't forget that these caves are still a little difficult sometimes, and oh my goodness, I am almost about to die. So yeah, my advice here is just to not take things too lightly, and even when you're eliminating some of these acolytes, you can see you're getting some stuff like this granite sword and this marble sword, which honestly aren't even really worth picking up. Okay, and like I said, after completing stage 2 of this dungeon here, let's see what we get out of this chest. Because like I mentioned, we're really just looking for gem tools here. And this time around, we got one, like I just mentioned earlier in the video, actually. It is going to be a fresh gem flint knock. Now, I'm not sure if the recycler is going to take into account how worn down an item is when it decides how much to give you back. But if it does, it is definitely nice to have some fresh tools. Nonetheless, moving around this place, you can see that there's also just a ton of random loot drops. Like this here, a copper pickaxe could be decent if you're in need of something like copper, so I'd pick that up if maybe you're a little bit earlier in your progression. For me though, I feel like I could just have my villagers make me copper at this point, so I'll just leave that on the floor. But I don't need to drag this part on for too long. You guys get the point. Jump down here into these storm caves and definitely get all of the resources that they have to offer, because when you can grind them down in the recycler, it'll definitely give you a ton of nice resources that you wouldn't have had otherwise. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and complete this entire cave, and then I'll show you guys a haul of my inventory when we're done. But here we are. We've made it to the final fight, and we did get some nice loot in our inventory. I'll go ahead and show you it in a second, but first we gotta fight the Thunderlord here. If you guys were not yet aware, there's always gonna be 5 stages of one of these storm caves, followed up by the final fight. And sometimes in that final fight, it will be the Thunderlord, of course, and in other times, it could be something like a double brute. So again, just make sure you're fully equipped for a boss fight like this, because the Thunderlord actually does a lot of damage if he ends up hitting you. But I mean, as long as you're good about just constantly moving around, the Thunderlord should be no problem for you. And just like that, we went ahead and took him out, where he drops another sword for us. This time we got a sapphire sword. Well, let's go ahead and pop open our last reward chest, see what we get, and then we'll go ahead and show you guys the inventory. And just like that, we got 2 more emerald crossbows and 1 more rune tome. Opening up the inventory though and showing you guys the haul, you can see that we have a sapphire sword, we have a ruby sword, we have an emerald crossbow, we of course have some gem flint knocks, among other things. I mean, we got a lot of loot from this, and you always really will. Anytime you come down here and complete one of these caves, you're bound to get good loot. So yeah, definitely would recommend that. Not to mention, we also got 8 Eyes of the Storm. That's great if you're just trying to progress overall in Lego Fortnite Odyssey, because then that means you can go unlock the portal and go fight the Storm King. So yeah, lots of good loot there. Bro is not the Thunderlord. Why does it say Thunderlord above this bear's head? Wait, what's going on? Anyway, guys, that's about it in terms of how I'm preparing for the update. But comment down below if you made it this far and let me know what you guys are most excited for and maybe how you guys are preparing for the update. Again, not the biggest content update ever, but there is some other stuff that I said I would mention earlier, and that's going to be the sprint attack that's coming to the game. And basically what they're doing there is I believe they're adding a sprint attack where you can just sprint into an enemy to damage them. Anyway, since this is basically another update video, we might as well talk about the rest of the updates. So that's going to be a jump attack change, a sprint jump, an advanced weapon journal, which is new, next level small talk, safety from the storm, which basically teleports you into a different spot when you get captured by the storm. They're buffing the thunderclap blade, and yeah, that's basically it. But to end off this video, I just wanted to say again how excited I am for this storage unit here. There's 108 chests on the wall plus the chests that are on the floor there. I just put another one down, so it tallies up to a total of 112 chests within the boundaries of this village. I still don't even think this is really heavy on memory, and maybe I just jinxed myself, but I feel like I could do quite a bit of building here as well. Obviously, this whole area is just temporary, and everything's gonna look a lot cleaner in the near future. This is just the start for this village, and I'll go ahead and continue to make village updates as they come along. Make sure you're subscribed for all of that and more. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to drop a like before you head out today. But thank you so much for watching all the way until the end. It's been your boy Kaz, though. Stay tuned to the channel for all of the update content to come. Peace.